This year. This year.
This year.
This year. This year.
This year was a year of extremes.
Junior year was, it was a lot of growing up. I watched people have real adult problems. That was a difficult lesson for me to learn, that people, everybody's fucked up. And that's okay. And the fact that our friendship has withstood numerous obstacles this year, I think is a true testament to how strong our friendship is, and I really appreciate it.
This year was the year of growing up.
I did a lot of lying this year, and they weren't big lies for the most part. They were more just lies to protect them and to protect me, because I think a lot of the lying was me learning about being selfless, because I think I had this habit before, this sort of laying it all out there for people, and everyone else has their own stuff going on, and I think this year I really realized that, so I just learned that there are times when it's better to hold your tongue or to just say something that's not necessarily true, so that everyone else can cope, because that's the thing I realized, that a lot of people are just as batshit as I am.
So this year we all had free period together, and I think it really taught us how to build really random friendships.
This year was full of new friends. So History Day this year we stayed in Sacramento, but we didn't get to actually go to the city. We were in this like weird shitty motel. It was not within walking distance. It was kind of weird, but it was like one of those things where I think it was for people who don't usually talk to each other that much.
I was asleep and then I woke up and read the whole day.
It is the last time that will ever happen to you.
This year was spending time with Rowdy.
So Sophia and I work at this place, and it's a law office, and we have the worst job ever. We file stuff,
And scan stuff.
and go on the computer.
And staple.
This year was learning how to be less to others and more to myself.
Instead, on a whim, I kind of joined surf team, because why not? I live in California. And it was really terrifying, because I didn't know anyone on the team. I didn't know anything about surfing, but I did it anyway, because I wanted to. And I think that's a kind of a theme for me this year, is a lot of things really scared me, or I didn't know much about them, but I would just try and just do things on a whim, because I figured they'd be worth it anyway. I don't know. I don't know.
One thing that I kind of experienced this year was this reoccurring thing that would happen where people would tell me that I was intimidating. And at first I thought it was funny, and I thought people were joking. But it actually came to be something that was a little bit of insecurity of mine, just because I thought that people were perceiving me as being particularly unfriendly, or that I was kind of closing myself off to new opportunities or new friends because of it.
This year was the year of self-discovery.
Uber cut.
Blue waffle.
Genital warts.
Hymen.
Herpes.
This year, unexpectedly, we all got asked to prom by seniors.
Prom night remains one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to me.
So I did get asked by a senior, that is a true statement, but he got mono like 4 days before, so.
This year was making sure others didn't feel as alone as I used to feel.
Oh my god. I was the only one to not have a prom date. Well, not in the whole school, but like in our core group. But I did have a homecoming date, and I was the only one in our core group to have a homecoming date. I felt like I took something away from that night, but I didn't take it away until like 4 months later.
This year was the year of shit stirring.
I had to go during one of the fast songs, and then like when that song ended, it was a slow song, and I was still in the bathroom, and then I just decided not to leave the bathroom.
And so we were like talking about prom, and she was like, oh, like I saw you had a date, I saw the pictures, how was your date? And I'm like, Bobby, like, you know my date was gay, right? And she's like, yeah, oh honey, it's okay, Leora's was black. That was that.
So golf this year was kind of more fun than last year, but also less fun than last year.
Basically, underclassmen suck.
So after practice, about once a week, we would all go to this McDonald's, and we would just get either a milkshake or some fries or a soda, and we would sit there for like hours.
Yeah.
On the weekday, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Not go home.
Never go home.
This year has definitely been characterized a lot by being worried about friends, and there were definitely times when I kind of didn't even know how to handle it just because there were so many things going on at one time, and I felt like everyone was confiding in me, and it just got to the point where I felt like I was kind of guarding everyone's secrets, and even though that should have been a really privileged role, it was kind of maddening. I don't really think I learned how to handle it, but I think it is something that I'm working on, and that this year will definitely be remembered as the year that I was really worried about a lot of my friends, and I had to learn to deal with it the best way I could.
This year was the year of maturity.
Thank God!
I got to know a lot of new people too. Like, none of the people who went on the trip were remotely in like my close friend group at all. And like, I got to know McKenna, I got to know Sarah, and like, I got to know a lot of the people really well on the trip, even though I don't really talk to them now. Like, that's okay. Like, I got to know them as people for 2 weeks, and that was great.
I was a bridesmaid. I danced with Trent.
Yes!
It was sufficiently awkward.
Well, one of the best decisions I think I made ever was to take creative writing. And it was great because I love creative writing, but I think what really made the class was just the people, because it was such a random sort of people.
And I went home, stressed about it the entire afternoon, had stress dreams about it, where I thought I was going to be put in so stupid. And I was like, guys, I have a confession. I hit someone's car. And they were like, oh, you probably hit Luke's car. I'm like, what?
She's sitting down on a little concrete bench thing, and I was like, Kim, I need to tell you something serious. And like, she was so infuriated because she wouldn't take me seriously. She was like, you're pregnant. And I was like, no, Kim, this is very serious. I need you to hear me out. I hit your car. She's like, okay. And like, it wasn't that bad, and she buffed it out. Or even like the paint just like sort of brushed it off. My car is scratched, but it doesn't matter.
Diet Coke.
No. Milkshake.
No. Diet Coke.
No.
But.
This year was the year I learned what it means to be a terrible friend and to be an amazing friend.
Golf. So much fun.
This year has been the best.
I played really badly.
But, you know, you improved. Next year, we're gonna rock it.
My underclassmen, like Grayson and Dana and Annika, I just want to hug them.
I'm not jealous of Parker Stowe for having Ariel. I'm jealous of Ariel for having Parker Stowe.
And I didn't know what was going on, and I was so stressed out, and then all of a sudden Thomas comes, and he just had a Diet Coke for me, and it was just the nicest gesture, and I started crying because I was just so all over the place, and I was just like, there's a Diet Coke for me.
Mom, come on, your boobs are showing again.
I can be so done with everything else in my life, but I have one person. I'm gonna cry, Kim. It's gonna happen.
I don't have classes with any of my friends this year, so I hung out in 6th period Taylor most of the year.
Mr. G is not a secret Santa for guitar.
Keeping friendships longer than you expect them to.
Listening to Ryan Watanabe playing So You Want to Be in Love Like the Movies one last time.
Mr. Rubin and photo class.
Embracing puberty.
This year was another year of letters, and these are just some of the ones that we exchanged.
Some people say that Michaela's a low-key slut, and I don't really think that's fair, because you can't judge a person until you know the whole story.
Holly, and you're married, tell them more. I don't care what they say about it, same way. I don't care about that.
This year was the year of why not.